Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. We're gonna set up the database setup because before we move to the database section. Move the database section. I think I believe that everybody already familiar with Docker and Docker Compose or something because we're gonna do the same thing, but it's about DB. So what we're gonna look for today's what is database, relational database, PostgreSQL, pgadmin, and set up it with Docker Compose. It's kind of like, okay. You already see it a lot of time. We can skip it. And this is me. I'm working as backend engineer, and mainly I working with Java, but sometimes I have an affair with Python and JavaScript. And then, yeah, a bunch of company. I'm kind of like a box, jumping from one company to other companies, kind of like. And then, do you guys are familiar with database? It's kind of like storage. I think it's everybody already know what kind of database is it. But you should store data, not information, in the database. And to be an expert in IT field, you have to know that no database, no life means like your system or your apps needs to have a database. It's an industry standard. Without a database, you cannot sell your product well. It's kind of like something wrong with it. Because database, it's very important. That's why we have data scientists, we have data engineer position, we have a data analyst or something. Data is very important. So do the database. So a relational database is what is it? You can see from the image a bunch of tables connected to each other. So relational databases usually is kind of like tables which has a structure like row and columns, and they are connected to each other. It's kind of like Microsoft Excel, but more like you can connect, kind of like, we will talk about it like that because it's quite kind of abstract, sorry. And then see the figure. It's kind of like sample of relational database. Like you have 4 tables and then pivot tables connected to product tables. If you see the line here, and then product table connected to orders, and then order connected to the customers. And then if you see that every table has their own schema or structure, like ID column, product column, and it should be defined what kind of data they are stored, integer or whether it's text. And also they are using primary and foreign key. And we will talk about it later because it's too abstract. If we are talking about right now, it's gonna eat up our time to set up the database. And then relational databases principle is asset principles. Atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. Atomicity means that the data that's stored in database should be the smallest form of the data. For example, if you have a columns for storing your phone number. And if you store 2 phone numbers in one column, you cannot call it atomicity. Each phone number should be stored in the different row, cannot be in the same row. And it should be consistent. The database should be consistent, means that every data you retrieve from database should be same, except if there is modification, but it should be same every time you inquire the data from the database. And it is also has to be isolated. I mean, like isolated means that every transaction you do with the database, the transaction should not be interfered one to each other. And also, a database should be reliable. I'm talking about durability. A database shouldn't be easily shut down or something. Because can you imagine suddenly in the middle of the day, a bank database shut down? It will be a chaos. It will be like everybody will get angry. A lot of business accident or losses or something. But yeah, so theoretical things. And then we move to relational database management system. This is what we're gonna install at the VMS. A software application like PGSQL, or if you know MongoDB, but MongoDB is NoSQL. If you know MySQL, it's a relational database management system, like a software application that enable you to create a database and also enable you to interact with the database with SQL. And also here, the popular example, MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle Database, and MariaDB. Yeah, this is very popular, guys. Believe me, this is popular, hype demand. So we're gonna do it. And also with pgadmin also. pgadmin is a graphic user interface where you can monitor, manipulate the database. So without pgadmin, you will to do consulting with PostgreSQL. Go to terminal, type the SQL query and something, and then yeah, everything is black and it's not funny. So we need pgadmin. So without further ado, let's set up PostgreSQL with Docker Compose. Oh, is it okay, Vijay? It's okay. I believe that everybody already have WSL, but so the guide that I made is typically run on Windows. So for Mac, I think I need other people to help the Mac guys to set up with the Docker Compose. So Docker, and also yeah, it can be not really important if you can clone the Docker Compose YML file from the GitHub. First, go to the GitHub. Yes. Yep. Do you guys know this address already? Okay. Go to your WSL, clone that repo, and get the Docker compose.yml. Okay, I can. So, okay.
Keep going. Yeah, just walk through.
Okay, but anyway, I cheat you guys. I've already have it here in my WSL. Sorry. And then don't forget to edit the Docker compose.yml, because there's certain thing that you should be removed from this before you run the Docker compose. Here I'm using Nano editor. No editing with app open. Yes. Nano editor. You can see the difference. Please remove the version.
I'll go ahead and put more hands on also. But if you already cloned, just do a git pull. I updated it to remove that.
If anybody needs help, just raise your hand. I will go to reach you. And then after you remove the version, you need to put email and password here in the pgadmin underscore default underscore email and pgadmin underscore default underscore password. Because this identity, you need to use it when you log to pgadmin. Finish or do you need help? Okay.
Oh, so still have it.
Yeah.
I mean.
Ah, it should be email. An email. What was it? Done? Okay.
Email and password is up to you guys. And then and if you're done with it, editing, don't forget to save. Don't forget to save. Then before doing Docker compose up -d, you need to do Docker network create Seollal Bootcamp 2025 backend. Oh, it should be run first because in the Docker compose stated that we need the network is Seollal Bootcamp something something. It's kind of like this. Run this first. It's already access on mine. So you need to run this first. Docker network create Seollal -bootcamp -2025 -backend.
Not gonna work on
Not
it.
working on it.
The port 80 is not going. It's not gonna allow them to use port 80. That's why we use headphones.
Aha.
Oh, that's why I needed to be checking stuff.
But it works on mine.
It works on my machine.
Doesn't work on your
Of
machine.
course, my machine is my machine.
Ah. That's 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Okay.
It's P8 is working. So, Done run the Docker network command. Let's do the magic. Let's run Docker compose up the running and starting on mine. Plus daemon is kind of like
It means run it as a daemon.
daemon
It means run it in the background.
background.
Don't run it as a foreground process.
Mm.
So basically it gives you control of the shell again and it just runs everything in the back. If you don't do the -d, it'll run as your current command and it'll basically block your shell. So if you want to keep using that shell, you have to kill the Docker Compose. But by doing this, Docker Compose is sent to the background, you can keep using that shell. Seems like no documentation. Why was this?
After that, check if it is run properly or not. Look at the S. Mine is running. It's just for checking if your containers already built up. This one? Yes. Nano?
It doesn't have to be Nano, just editing.
Editing.
So they're all using VS Code.
Bam. That's what.
So, do you have VS Code installed?
No, I'm using the editor.
The editor?
Mm.
Can you just open out this directory, just some kind of text editor so you can see?
Okay.
So, oh, you're using old Docker. So don't, for Docker Compose, don't use the hyphen. It's just Docker space compose. What? Okay, when was the last time you updated Docker?
Just yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
And Docker.compose still works?
Yeah.
That's weird. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, don't do Docker.compose. You should just do Docker space compose for the command. Great. Okay, great. So the Docker Compose YAML should not be in a subdirectory. It should be in the root directory. Yes, it should be in the root directory. I don't know why it's in the DB directory.
Oh, can I see it?
It just doesn't.
I moved this out here. Yeah, that's what I.
Hi.
I'm sorry to remind. I forget to remind you. Your current directory should be in the same directory with the Docker file. Otherwise, your command won't be like this. It should be like path to the Docker Compose or something. So in my case, I've already in the same folder with the Docker Compose. That's why I can easily run this command.
So if you pull the latest version of the repository, it should just work.
Back to my editor. I'm using this. The editor or none of something.
Oh, also, we don't have time.
Okay.
keep going.
Okay. This done, then go to your browser. I should log out first. Leave. And then if you don't know your private address, your WSL private address, you should run this command. IP, where is it? IP show address. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's also not a problem.
Yeah. Wait.
What were you trying to do?
To show how they get the IP address, private IP address.
They need the private here.
To access it from the Chrome. See that
No, it's exposed on port 80.
already?
Yeah, that's why you do the publish.
But if I do it like localhost port 80, it won't work. Oh, really? Sorry. Okay, skip it.
Yeah.
Okay, just localhost port 80.
Share the link,
Which ones?
the Docker compose file. In the
Yeah.
Docker compose file in the pgadmin. You already changed to it.
Yeah,
So there was like default email and password.
yeah, I fixed it.
Yeah, thank you.
Go to this page already and then log in with your email that you already specified in the Docker Compose and your password. It's kind of like that. And then don't forget, click add new server. Okay, add new server, for example, here, Bootcamp Seollal. This is mandatory. You should put the name. Then the connection, it should be localhost. Then the database is the same database you see on Docker Compose. Here, e-commerce DB. Username is root. The same with, you see here, Postgres user and Postgres password. Root and password is root. Then save it. Oh, see that it's not working in localhost.
Wait, why is the maintenance database not goes up?
Hmm?
So localhost, yeah, that's not gonna work because so you should use, sorry, keep going.
It's called word.
Hmm?
Yeah. What's out?
Oh, sorry. Anthony DB. E-commerce. Host. The thing is what? See that?
Has access to like GRV.
PGadmin?
Yeah. So we should put the local host and link in it. To access the code page.
Yeah, in here. But I don't. Okay. In my case, it works on this private address. From
Is everyone able to get PGadmin running on their machine? Now it could be part of Docker Compose. When you do Docker Compose up, it downloads the PGadmin Docker image and runs it on your device.
Okay, then just. That's why you need to do Docker network first.
Docker network.
Very-
Backend.
Yeah. So
Nadia. Nadia, I'm gonna fix a bunch of stuff, okay? All right, guys, so let's get this fixed up. So first off, for you Mac folks, actually wait, crap, I don't remember that off the top of my head. Okay, so for you Mac folks, you might have trouble getting this to run, getting pgadmin to run. Where the hell is my cursor? Does anyone see my cursor? Where is it? What the hell? Oh, there it is. It's tiny. Okay. So I'm gonna actually wait, no. Sorry, 1 second here. What? Okay. In any case, in your Docker Compose, you may need, if you're on Mac, you may need to fix this one right here. You may need to set the first port to 8000 or 8080. Let's do 8080. Okay. You may need to do this in order to get it to work. Okay. Because on Mac, you're going to have some issues. Okay. And then to explain what's going on here, we're running the Postgres database in a Docker container. Okay. This, wait, crap, I can't see my cursor. There it is. Okay. So this line right here, okay, that says that we're specifying a new Docker container that we're naming database. Okay. That's what this line means here. Okay. In Docker Compose, each item under services is specifying a new service, which is basically a new set of containers. In this case, we're defining a set of containers named database, okay? Now, this database set of containers is going to use the Postgres image, okay? And that's what we defined in this line here, okay? Then we set a bunch of environment variables to set, how we log in. And then we set the ports, all right? And then we set volumes so that it persists. You don't need to worry about the volumes thing. Now, the networks you already covered. Technically, you don't need that, except we're going to use it for later stuff, okay? And then pgadmin is a separate service, a second set of Docker containers. Normally, a database does not have a user interface, okay? There's no way to see what's going on in the database by default. pgadmin is a little web server used for connecting to and managing a Postgres database, okay? So that's what we're setting up here with pgadmin, okay? So we're saying that we're using the pgadmin for image, all right? And then we have to set these login info, okay? And then if you're on Mac, you're not going to be able to bind to port 80. Remember, ports below 1000 are reserved ports and require super user, okay? So if you're on Mac, you have to change this first number to 8080, okay? And then pgadmin itself runs on port 80, okay? So once that's what's happening in this Docker Compose file. Now to run this, you just do docker space compose, docker space compose, and then up. You can do a -d if you want it to run in the background, but if you want to watch the logs, and if you don't need to continue using the shell, you can do it without the -d. Okay. And then you'll see it does a whole bunch of work. It outputs the logs, and you should see this right here. Okay. This is from the pgadmin image, and it's telling us that the server is starting and is listening at the local host port 80. All right. Now remember that port 80 inside the container. We changed the configuration so that on our host machine, it's going to be on 8080. So if we go to localhost :8080, you'll see pgadmin. Okay. Everyone got that part running. Great. Now, going back to, I'm going to kill this and I'm going to run it in the background. If we go back to our Docker Compose, right? we want to use the username and password we set here. So I'm just going to grab this. I'm just going to grab these here. Okay. Just copy and paste those in. You should be able to log in. Oh, why? Sorry. Oh, there was a space. Ah, you would think I wasn't a software engineer. Surprise, I'm not. I'm actually a PM. 5? No, 4. Okay. So now you're here. Now you get this add server thing. Okay. And you're like, what the hell should I put here? The name can be whatever you want. Okay. But under connection, you need to give it the hostname address. Now, when you set up these services in Docker Compose, or in the last session, Dennis had talked about how it uses the name of the containers and sets up networky stuff for you, right? So all you need to do is you don't need to know the IP address of the database container, right? Docker will handle that for you. If you just say database, okay, Docker will do the routing for you, okay? So you just set the host name to database, and then the DB here, okay? You just copy that, paste. Oh my God, I cannot type. There we go. The username, copy, paste. Password, what are you going to do? Copy, paste. Okay. Now this is the database configuration. And if you hit save here, congratulations, we're connected to the database. Okay, has everyone got that? Does it make sense? Cool. So now you can see a whole bunch of stuff. You can see this e-commerce database, and this is far too complicated. Where is it? Is there no schemas? There we go. Public. Sometimes I hate Postgres. This is why I like the generic. There's no tables in this database yet, but you can see we're connected to the database. All right, has everyone got to this point? Does anyone need help getting to this? Yeah, you need help? All right. So you missed at the beginning, we had to do that network create. So you just do Docker network create, and then that name. Are you sure it's the same name? So you can just write it. You're tested. Now do your Docker Compose up. That's okay. Okay. Anyone else? Yeah. Sorry, if you don't get off the way. It's bad. So if you go back to your channel, with the one you read from, you got what you know that. Yeah, that's it. And then it's what it is. Oh.
One that. Oh, yeah, no, sorry. Yeah. And without this, this one database just like this. Oh, you understand it, yeah. The target page and the next database. The one that you write on the compost. That was very remote, that's.
Yeah, anyone else needs help?
Yeah.
That was good? Oh, thank you.
In general, you do put any. Like one example.
It just happened, yes, it's. Yeah, I just.
I am not information, I'm not what this was because. Yep.
You gotta say, it's a mistake.
And here's the name. Easy.
Ah. Awesome, great.
That it was just, it's.
All right, anyone else need help? Yes?
And as well.
Okay. Oh.
I think for me, it's the end of the program. Database. And then on.
Yes.
Ada guna banget lah, itu katanya. Ready, done. Okay. So I don't know if you can access the resource or not. It's a little bit different with what we done today, but in my slides, you can see that how to make your port 22 ready for FTP if you wanna do FTP to your WSL, and then you can see it and try at home. And also, the thing, if you want to set up Postgres with other way, for example, like using FTP, just look at the slide. And then I think we can move to introduction to SQL. Introduction to SQL. Yep.
Don't have enough time.
Okay, good. I just play with the, aha. Here are the things. If you want to play with SQL and pgadmin, just right click on your DB and go to query tool. Here you can, for example, if I'm show tables or PT, it will show empty because we have no, sorry. We have no, no. Tables. We have no tables yet. It's empty. E. Okay. Anyway, just like it.
Who doesn't know SQL? Not that many people. We can do SQL after lunch. Yeah, we'll just cut short the discussion session. Just hit everything back. So we can just ask questions or see if people have questions and answer Docker questions for it. Why do we need FTP? Why do we need FTP?
But I'm using FTP. I mean, yesterday, you know, the Docker compose.yaml made by Dennis just uploaded last night. So before that, 2 days ago, when I tried, I used FTP.
Okay, so do we need FTP now? Like if people ask around, then we need or not?
Do we need to explain FTP or not?
No, like if people ask, do we need to install something about it?
FTP. But I think my configuration is just working on Windows. On Mac, I'm not really sure about it because I'm using this
WinCP.
Yeah.
And here we should define how do we get
Host name, IP address here
where do you get this?
in here. I'm sorry, I should exit. I'm
I didn't explain it yet, right?
Yep.
Okay. Just because I need to know if people can help.
Yep. IP address, if I'm not mistaken, here. I got it in Ethernet.
Okay, so yeah, this one. And for this one, port number
Port number 22.
And these two, where do you
Yeah.
get them?
Is my
Postgres.
username YWS? Yeah.
Root.
Yeah. Root. Not root. Is it my Linux username and password?
Oh, really? Linux username.
Yeah, because this is not for DB, but for entering the database.
So WSL's username is also. Okay. Yeah, take a picture.
So guys, it's a little bit out of topic, but if you want to work on DevOps, and sometimes client doesn't allow you to be connected to their server directly by internet, so you have to do FTP. FTP is stand for File Transfer Protocol or something, and this is the tools that I use it daily to go to the client server or company server or something, because it's you yeah, just for example, like if how can I say, for transferring file or retrieving some file from server, it's very easy using FTP. For example, like I just go transfer or something like that. And then what else? Do you guys know about FTP already? I mean, like, have you ever used it at FTP? No, go to the other server, retrieve the files, or pushing some files to the server using FTP. Okay. And it's and sometimes you need to know the server IP address. Clear. I will clear it. In Ubuntu Linux, you can easily type this one. They will show you a bunch of information about your server communication protocol, and then don't forget use Ethernet 0. Not here. It's for other connection. And then see this. This is your private IP address. Should be like that.
So,
You want to talk some?
no. Is there anything else?
No.
We finished?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Any questions?
Question?
Recently, I had problems with I think it's that the file huge, and I tried to shrink it a little bit. Yeah, but I could do some problem with the pricing, which just yeah, but is there any words some way how can I do it from solution? I mean, yeah, I believe that's unnecessary and containers just but this the difference.
Yeah, because I think this is amounting just from.
Yeah,
I think you apply that.
So this is basically when you create a Docker container, that's virtual host.
Yeah.
right? But it just lets that file be unlimited. You're gonna fill it. Yeah. So what it does is it tries to pre-allocate file system space. Yeah, so basically it reserves 64 gigabytes. And then,
Yeah.
okay, this is what I'll use for all of our virtual files.
Yeah.
But by changing that setting there, you reduce that virtual file system to 32 gigabytes, right?
Yeah, I try to, I know, weeks on containers, just asking network images, it was, I just, we think we will have this file, but, yeah.
That file didn't change stuff.
Basically, I allocated already, and, after that, I couldn't, shrink.
Right, because so even if you have 0 containers, you can have no file system. That setting that you just showed with a slider, right? The Docker data is going to preserve disk space for future containers, even if no containers exist right with it. Right, so that's that 64 gigabytes that is reserved for containers. Right, if you reduce that setting that you saw, or if you reduce that to 32, that'll change the size of that file.
But I can do it all day surprising all stages.
If restart stops it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a record it's like all the just like years.
Yeah.
Well,
Your retention. How do you make sure that like you're providing less space, right? So we can't guarantee that the space you reduce will be unused. We don't actually know what's going on inside.
yep. For example, I use storage. I have to pay for a space on one time, and I need less space. Optimize ring this stuff, or I have this one three numbers on.
So one of the core ideas with so individual containers, you delete a container. The only area of concern with volumes, and you can just go back and look. Delete it. And again.
This space, yeah.
I don't remember how to come back up a full volume. I know it can be done. I just don't know. Good happen.
So you want to continue streaming?
Now we should kill the stream. And then I'm gonna rearrange the schedule.
Do you want to say something?
Yeah, yeah, so I'll do that right now. All right. So, for online for people on the stream, apologies, this has been a little bit of a mess. We're going to shift around the schedule, okay? At the end of the day, we had discussion time scheduled. We're going to reduce or possibly even eliminate the discussion time, okay? To use that time for our sessions. The introduction to SQL session will be done after lunch, okay? And then everything else will be shifted back by 1 hour. All right. I apologize for any of the trouble. But we should, the discussion time also kind of acts as a buffer. All right. And we'll stick around for a little bit after the official boot camp is over. If you do have questions or things you want to discuss, we'll have kind of an unofficial discussion time. But other than that, the schedule for the afternoon will be shifted back by 1 hour to allow time for introduction to SQL. Is that okay with everyone? Excellent. Thank you for your patience and understanding, guys. And for the stream, we will see you in the next one. Great. Cool.